Hi, good day. My name is Glenn Robertson, and I'm one of the founders of the African Musicians Trust, and I'm sitting here with one of Cape Town's legends, and Chris Petersen.
I don't recognize myself.
You don't recognize? I know. But you are, and Chris, I want to just ask you a little bit about who you are, where you come from, how you landed up in Cape Town,
Yes.
and how you became part of the Cape Town music scene. I know I'm throwing a lot of things at you,
Yes.
but tell us a little bit of your background.
Influences.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think I'll start with the influences. My father was he grew up in Riversdale, and he went to a Lutheran church.
Okay.
And a Lutheran school.
Yes.
So you know the Lutherans can sing.
Yes.
So I can remember him singing in the house and classical music.
Yes.
Always be playing.
Yes.
And in church he was very good at with the bass, singing bass and baritone. And he could switch over to baritone.
Right.
And so that kind of ear I developed to listen to the music and immediately associate the correct bass notes.
Yes.
And I think that helped me further in life as well
Right.
as music. That was my classical influence. And then my father sent me because my sisters all went to a school to play piano.
Piano, yeah.
So there was a lady who was teaching that. But I learned a lesson there too, because I was sent to go for classes there. And I didn't like it, because she used to hit me over the fingers. If
Same
I
as
do
my
something
wife.
wrong.
My wife is watching this. She'll tell you that's what happened to her.
And it kind of put me off the piano,
Yeah.
which was. But in theory, I was so good that I actually received 110%, which was the highest in the Western Cape or Western Province at that time.
Yeah. For theory.
Yeah, and when I did the exam, the theory exam, I came home, my mother asked me, how did it go? I said, no, it was nonsense questions they gave me. I said, there's one space, they give you a little space like this, and I must put 64 dots in there.
Yeah.
And she thought, no, he probably failed us all. When the marks came out, 110%.
Wow.
Only want to get 110%. There
Wow.
were people with 100%, but I only want to get 110%. So they questioned the teacher, and the teacher said, I was the only one to tackle that question, because it seemed impossible. Because I said to my mother, I must get 64 notes in there. Because they said, in one bar, I must, in a 4/4, I've got to get hemi, demi, semiquavers in.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's 64 notes.
yeah.
And then the only way I could squeeze it in is some tiny little dots and little lines, but I did
All
it.
by hand.
And they
yeah.
gave me the extra
Yeah,
10%.
You didn't have computers then where you could just
No.
let it print it out. Yeah.
Okay, so but then I was put off the piano because I started at that time standard 1, which is grade, what's that, grade 3?
Yeah.
What, is that right?
Yeah.
That's when I started with the piano, and then when I was standard 3, I said to my father, no. I became rebellious about it because I couldn't take this.
Hitting on the knuckles with a ruler.
Yeah, but it was a negative thing, which later on in life, when I started the Jazz Yard Academy, I made sure that there was going to be enjoyment in this.
That's right.
And I didn't get the enjoyment, and that's why I was put off from the piano. Then there was a person, my father was a principal of a school which only went to standard 6, and they didn't have for colored community high school there. So
Yes.
most of the children that went to the school couldn't afford to send, their parents couldn't afford to send them to high school in George.
Yes.
So when they get to standard 6, then they have to go and work. And Eisner had the industry, the wood industry, you know, the furniture industry.
Of course, yes.
So what our school had, we had a good woodworking class where they could learn to fit and do all kinds of things. And there was one boy who qualified, and he was, well, not qualified, he finished at 6. And my father liked him, said, you know, you can, while you're looking for work, you can work in the garden to fix and repair things.
Yes.
And he became like a big brother to me.
Okay.
And it so happened that he had quite a few brothers that they had a band. So they played very different music, out of the town. But he built me this black guitar.
Okay.
And that's
With a Castleton.
Yeah, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And then I said to him, I would really like to come and see your band and come, you know. And he says, but it's a long distance. And of course, in Eisner, at those days, it's not like today. Your parents didn't worry about their children going out and just walking and going out of the town. And so I would take my bicycle, and then I realized it's hill, we have to push the bicycles.
Yeah.
And his bicycle was loaded with car batteries.
Mm.
Because there's no electricity up there.
Yeah.
So they use the car batteries to power their amps. And you come to this little house, and and I think I learned humility there too, because you come to the house and the walls are it's newspapers.
Sure.
So they're there to make up the walls.
Yes.
And the floor is a cow down floor.
Yes.
But the environment was warm,
Yeah.
The family is warm.
Yeah.
It's up on the hill. Today, because of after apartheid, there was so much selling out that the foreigners actually bought everything, and everybody was moved out. And you find
Correct.
only super rich living up there because the views of the lagoon were so beautiful.
Correct, yes.
So they played music like the Kwela music and all that, and so I loved that, and I loved the sound of that, And Bob, this man's name is Bob, he's still alive. Hello, Bob, if you can see me. He lives in Pa. And he was like a big brother to me.
Yes.
He still is. I mean,
yes.
Occasionally comes and visits us, and
yeah.
Just because he loved our family,
Correct.
My father helped him also get a nice job and so on. So he became a good furniture, what they call cabinet maker, but not what you get today. The real thing.
Yeah.
Work with swarthout.
Yeah.
What they call it geelhout.
Yeah.
And stinkhout.
And with mortise and tenon joints and all of those things. Yeah.
So and that was a different kind of influence. So it was the classical from my father and the Kwela and that stuff, And then also we lived because the town was multiracial.
Mm.
Most of my mother's family lived in one street, Green Street.
Wow.
And that was, my grandfather had a piano at his house, so that's where I could practice when I was doing it. But when I gave up, of course, I didn't play anymore. Yeah. And the town hall was just opposite. So whenever there was a 21st birthday or some celebration in the family, it would happen in the town hall.
Yes.
And dance bands would come play.
Yes.
So you get the Harmony Kings and all
that.
Lang arm. And that was another influence.
Yeah.
And it was like, this musical influence, I don't know who said that there's no definition of good music could be any music.
Yeah.
And so I got that influences that I merged together as good music.
Yes.
And as a little kid I would then try and always make my way onto the stage and watch the drummer, the brushes, just can't stop looking at this.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Listen to the harmony of the saxophones. Yeah. And it's all like elderly people, but they seem so relaxed, and I felt, you felt so warm, like when you were with a good grandfather.
Yeah.
That kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And so, okay, then I think I must move on now to out of Eisner. So what happened is all my sisters went to a Catholic school up in Kruger.
Right.
I tell you, that was a life where it's something else. They tell me afterwards how they had to survive there.
Mm.
But they all turned out well. My elder sister came to Cape Town, and she got a degree at UCT. And so she started teaching at Belgravia High School. And at that time, I finished standard 4 down there, and my father was English. He was always talking English to us, and my mother was talking Afrikaans. But he wanted to send us all to English medium schools because he believed there was a better opportunity later.
I was going to comment on your English because you speak your English is, your English is very good for someone who's come from an Afrikaans
model school.
Yeah.
And so the first school I came to in Cape Town, of course now I'm bored as well, so that's another experience.
Yeah.
So the first school I came to was Garlandale
Okay,
Primary School.
Yeah.
It was a good school then, very good school, we had teachers. And then of course my sister's influence there. Because my sister's the one that gave my name.
Mm.
Because my father had the tradition, and his father and the father before there, old George Archibald Petersen.
Right.
And they brought that name down to me.
So you are Chris Archibald?
No, George Archibald Christopher.
Oh, okay, George Archibald Christopher Petersen. That's his name.
I'll tell you more about that.
Yeah.
You know, Colin Daniels.
Yes, yes, your piano player.
Yeah. Now, I hated this George Archibald and that, you know, but he got to use that on the stage. George Archibald Christopher. And everybody sitting there, all red.
Who is this guy? Yeah.
He looks at me and he points to me. Wow. But so I inherited those names, but my sister insisted, and that's why I love my sister so much. She lives in England, but she said, "I'm calling him Christopher. You can do what you like."
Yeah.
And so that name stuck.
Stuck, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a good name.
Yes. And so I was back with her in Cape Town, and I enjoyed the weekends with her, and she bought me this guitar.
Right.
Now my father he was very orthodox.
Yeah.
So, you know, that kind of music, it was devil's music.
Yeah, of course. You can ask Onyx Phillips what his father told me.
So for me to travel from Cape Town, from Neisner to Cape Town, my father had a little beetle to take us to George. There was a little train, a choo-choo train that used to run across the lagoon.
That's right,
yes.
Yeah.
But then it ended at George. And then the other train comes from Port Elizabeth through
past
the
Neisner,
and out the Nico Pass.
Yes.
And then it comes to Neisner.
Yeah.
Am I right? To George.
Yeah.
Not Neisner, George.
Georgia.
So the Neisner train and that train met there, but then that train would go all the way to Cape Town. So instead of putting me on a little train, they would, just to say goodbye, you know, take the drive through to George.
Yeah.
And then I would get on the train. And so the first time I returned home after being down in Cape Town, of course my father's ready to take all the stuff, baggage to the window, he's standing there, and out comes this guitar, and it's just white with a leopard black spots on it. Yes. In his hand. My mother said he froze like this. Said, "What does he do with this thing?"
So even having a guitar was not a good thing.
But then the guitar was then my instrument.
Yeah.
So I kind of, but I think the roots of the piano was always there in the back of my mind. It's just that negative thing was not good to me. Mm. And then eventually I think my first band in, you know, when I was okay, I think I wasn't married yet. And then Bermuda, group of friends got together. Mm. And one of them was just down the road here from me, where I'm living now. Yeah. And that was Leon Erenson, yeah. So they had a practice session there. Yeah. He said, "Come along, man." And I had a bass guitar. And I wanted to try it out. And they didn't have a bass guitar. I said, "You can't play bass for us." So I come with this bass guitar. It was 60 rand with this bass guitar. So when I had to play the open strings, because the intonation was not, you couldn't adjust it. Yeah. Then they could still tell me I had to pull the neck like this.
Oh my goodness, to get the proper notes and the sounds. Yeah.
So then Colin Daniels was joining us, and then most of the rehearsals we did in Lansdowne, where Neil Petersen.
That's right.
You know Neil Petersen.
Yeah.
He and Andre van Rede. They lived in the same road. And Andre was our drummer. Yeah. And Neil was our lead guitarist. Yeah. He was also the leader of the band.
Yes.
But I was always outster. You know? So he'd always come to me also if we want to make decisions. But Neil was the one that made the wise decisions, and he just, you know, I think he kept the spirit up.
Correct.
Of the band. We had a lot of fun together as Bermuda. We started off with the music that we appreciated, which was the funky jazz music. And
you had a lovely singer at the time. What was his name?
Malcolm.
Malcolm.
Newkirk.
Curly spectacles.
Newkirk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does he still sing?
I haven't seen him in years, but I do believe he lives in Mitchell's playing. I haven't seen him.
Yeah.
He's the only one I haven't seen for a
because
very long time.
we Airborne was playing, I think, at Montreal, and you guys, Bermuda, came when we finished our stint there. Bermuda came to Montreal after Tony Schilder.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were well received there, but not everywhere, because the type of music that we played was Herbie Hancock. And if you play, and Colin was a very good keyboardist.
Of course.
So Colin was always, he was like Kurtley, always eager to try something very difficult.
Yes.
And you know that song, Just Around the Corner? Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
And all the solos in
yeah. No, he's...
Colin mastered that. Yeah. Wow. And that song was brilliant. It's Herbie Hancock and Carlos Santana. Carlos Santana starts the song. That was Saturday night. Sorry.
Saturday night was very...
It was Saturday night. Yeah. It was also Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
But then we did Just Around the Corner, and we did another one, Mr. Hands, I think.
Yeah. And I think you guys also tackled Brazilian Love Affair, George Duke.
Yes, we did that as well with Spain and all those things. And then when we play, we couldn't really attract the crowd too much because they didn't. It wasn't a dance music to them.
It was more listening.
At that time.
Listening music.
At that time, they wanted the pop songs of today, and we're not working. We need to pay for these instruments. We bought an Petro, you know. Yeah. So we tied in with I can't remember names now. I'm getting old, but the manager of the group Bloodshed. Can you remember his name?
I can't remember his name. No.
Yeah,
I'm also past 60, eh?
Yeah, and so what we did is they start calling us Bloodshed Sabroches.
Okay.
Because wherever Bloodshed played, then we would be like the band that plays before them.
Yeah, the opening band.
Opening band.
Curtain raiser.
But it was good because we had Georgie Carroll, he liked us as kids because we were so keen, and he used to come to our practices. Yeah. The only problem is Georgie was half deaf because the amp must be turned full blast in a practice. Yeah. So now we were practicing at Colin's house at that time. After that night that Georgie Carroll's played there with us,
they chucked you out.
He said, not again. The neighbors all complained. But he was doing the guitar solos and keyboard solos. We didn't want to stop him because we were so impressed, you know. Yeah. He would switch on the guitar solo straight into keyboard solo. But he was a master. Yeah. And don't you want to ask me questions or what? No, you telling us the story. It's great. Okay. How you came from George. From Neisner. From Neisner, you had the Blick guitar, you came to Cape Town, you got yourself a guitar, started playing with Bermuda, you got married, was it afterwards? I think what happened is I got married, when was it? During Bermuda days? No. Yeah, I think it was during Bermuda days. Yes. But then I got divorced again. Yes. Because after Bermuda, I started playing in a Langeram band. That was studying my roots, you know. So that was Lisbeth. So can we touch on Elle Petersen? Can we talk about her? But she's not my biological daughter. Okay. You know that? No, I didn't know that. No, but she's like my own daughter. Okay. Right. So I love her very much. Yes. And at the time after I was divorced, I went out with her auntie. I see, and that's how you met. And she happened to be a brother's daughter, but her brother had passed away. So she had adopted, been reared by them. Yeah. So when she finished matric,
Okay.
She got married and so
Okay.
on. And then she got in contact with me again because we had broken up.
No, I thought she was your daughter
and
because
she,
you're a
she really,
supporter.
since then, I've been a father to her.
Yeah.
And whenever she needs some wise words or something, then I will be there for her.
For her, yeah.
And
Wonderful.
even because I taught her to play the guitar. And
Fantastic.
to record, yeah.
And she's doing very well for herself.
She's very good. Is the camera still on?
Yeah. Now we follow.
Okay.
So let's just recap. So we're down in Cape Town. You were part of Bermuda, and then obviously Bermuda broke up or stopped playing or whatever, and then Neil passed on. Neil Petersen.
Yes.
Bring us to the jazz yard. How did Chris Petersen get involved, and how did you become instrumental in the Jazz Yard Academy? Because I think that's very important.
I think the reason why I was pushed to do something like that, because I was pushed, because it was a very dangerous situation I was going into with gangsters shooting kids every day.
Right.
It was something from above. It was, a lot of it was to do with my own life and the fact that I didn't want other kids to make their own decisions that I've made in my life. And part of that is when I got divorced. I mean, me and my ex-wife, we're like brothers and sisters now. It could have been different. And I want to preach that to kids.
No, absolutely.
That, marriage is something good.
Yes,
So,
and it's hard work.
But it's a lesson I learned through the years.
Absolutely.
And things, my failures. I studied at UCT for engineering. I only did 2 years, and I had a problem, a physical problem. And I'm very open. I'm 60 now, and you talk very openly.
Yes.
That I had a problem with when I had to go to the toilet,
Yes.
and I had to go frequently, and I wouldn't tell anybody. And I wouldn't tell my parents also because I was too ashamed
Yes.
to tell it. And
Yes.
I thought it was embarrassing. I must go to the toilet, and every time I said, I have to run to the toilet. I said, I could never finish my exams.
Sure.
And I failed subjects that I should have passed.
Yes, yes.
But here I'm sitting in that big hall, and you're sitting in the Jamison Hall, and it's full of people, and you must walk from the back, past all of those students, go to the toilet in front there, and then you still take long, because I couldn't do it quickly, and I came back. And then only years after I told my father what, and he felt sorry, because he used to come down on me because of, you know,
Yeah, he just thought you weren't working.
I weren't working, and was wasting his money.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm also with kids, I'm very open with them. I say, if you've got problems, talk about it.
Talk about it,
Because
absolutely.
a small thing like that
Talk
caused
about
me
it.
to stop studying.
Studying?
Because I couldn't.
Yeah, and if you only had the freedom to speak about it.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
sure.
but my brain was wired for engineering. So I started working in the engineering field, and I've been highly successful in that. I came from the time of relay logic, where you had to design a control panel with little relays and timers and things.
Our Mel Rue will understand this. That goes off my head.
And a panel that was, for example, as long as from here to the end of that road is now a little box like that. Nowadays.
No, it's amazing.
It can do all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I went through all of that, and so a lot of the youngsters that are learning the trade now don't have that experience because they don't know what to do if they face a certain problem, but I can think faster without doing the software. So that's my work now. And so I sometimes go off track, you know.
I'll steer you, don't worry.
I tried to say something and I'm trying. Oh, the studying at UCT.
Studying at UCT.
So what I'm trying to say is that if I wanted to carry things across to the kids, it was troubling. A lot of things were troubling me, and I had to do something. And then I said to myself, but I've got something that I can do. But it isn't. I'm now at the age of 60, you know. I said, what about these kids, young people, man? They nobody's doing anything about them. And that's when I met Gino.
Mm.
And we met through Gary van Dijk.
Okay.
Out at Atlantis.
Yes.
At what they called...
Kontiki.
Kontiki on the avenue.
Yes, yes, yes.
Lionel
Temmers.
Passed away now.
Yeah.
And it was like magic because the music was playing Ramon Alexander and going there. So this is building here. There's a garden in front.
Yeah.
At the back there's a lawn.
Yeah.
And that's where the music is going.
Happening here. Where the funeral was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the cars are parked this side
Yeah.
and there's a little stoop.
Yeah.
And I was coming this way out. I know the toilets were there. I think I was going to the toilets. And here was a guy talking to Gary.
Gino.
Yeah. And
Gino
Gary,
Oliver.
And Gary just turned to me and says, Chris, this is Gino. Gino, this is Chris. And he walked away.
But he knew that the connection had to happen.
So we call him the pebble thrower.
Yeah. No. You know, we were born on the same day, 1st of June 1959, both Gary and I.
Is it?
So we twins. He's my brother from another mother. But I often say, my ministry is a ministry of introduction. Gary's ministry is the ministry of introduction as well. Introducing the right people to the right people.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. That's a
It's
wonderful gift.
important. Yeah. So he introduced Gino to you.
Yes.
And then you got talking about.
Yeah, and then and I also, there's a lot of things I learned. I learned it even like our business now. If I must do things over again, I had all the brains to do my job, but I didn't have the brains to start a business.
Mm.
But we at that time decided, oh, we know all these things, myself and my business partner. Oh, he was good in installation, I'm good in this. We can make money, man. And we were doing well. We did work all over the world, in South America,
Wow.
and all over Africa, Lebanon, Madagascar, and everywhere. But when things started getting tough, when we got hit heavy, and now it's really recently, had we had the right foundation, a business foundation. So what I learned from that is, if I'm going to teach or say something to young people, it would be also that if you want to go into anything, be it music, make sure that you also understand the business of music.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you can find yourself in the situation I'm in.
Got to be left-brained and right-brained. The business, the admin.
And you can't pay for it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
make sure that your business side of things are so worked out that you look, God always makes a plan, but God gave you the gift to also make your own
Absolutely. Yeah.
plan. And so they were, I think, I'm just thinking about all the things that drove me to go there. And I had all these instruments because I had been playing in a church. Actually, Alistair is the one that took over from me on the bass in Bermuda.
Alistair Adams.
Adams.
That's right. That's
and
right.
Alistair was a guitarist. Alistair said,
Yeah.
watch me
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Because he was a guitarist. But when I left, I said, Alistair, don't you want to play? He said, yes. So I think it's a time that I got married that there was too much, I was out too much.
Yes.
So that's the reason why I left Bermuda. And then I think at that time Ian was playing keyboards for us.
Yes.
So
And you know how Ian played bass for Stitch?
Yes.
Was he came there, he wanted to play piano,
Yes.
but Onyx Phillips was there.
Yes.
So when he heard Onyx, he said, no, okay, I'm a bassist. And meanwhile, Ian was a piano player. And I've only enjoyed Ian's recent piano playing when he's been playing with my band now. But he's an amazing musician. He's like, I've often said to him, he's like a Jonathan Butler.
Yes.
You know,
his
you put
father
him,
was an organist.
Yeah.
Saldana, yeah.
Put him behind the drums, he plays the drums, he plays the
Yes.
guitar, he plays the bass, he plays the piano. So, sings.
But here's a simple experience.
Yeah.
Because then years later,
Yeah.
because what happened is Alistair will always tell me, Chris, you started me in this thing. You gave me the opportunity.
Wow.
Why? Because I gave him all my equipment. I said,
Sure.
here's this big bass amp. He couldn't afford to buy that thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that bass with the wooden channels. H&H bass
Yes,
machine.
yes, yes.
Everything. That's
Yeah.
what I'm playing. And through the years we stayed friends.
Wow.
So I gave him that stuff to play with for a year and a half, and then he could afford to buy his own stuff.
Right.
And then we stayed friends. And then years later, he said to me, Chris, come to our church, man. We got nice music. And so I came there, and I said, yo, I would love to play in the band, but Alistair's not playing bass, and there's no keyboardist. In the meantime, I had bought myself a little keyboard, and I have been enjoying it. I started to enjoy playing because now, the bass on its own, you can't really. I mean, a piano, it covers everything.
For sure, for sure.
And so I said, I would love. Then he says, come play keyboards, man. I think you play alright, man. So I was a raw. And so now they gave me the music sheets, but now I was now learn this music, not learn it by heart. I must not read this.
Yes.
But now my eyesight was not so good, and then there was a curtain behind us. Now on a hot day, they would open the doors, and suddenly the wind blows, and there goes a piece of paper, and I'm lost. I might as well stop playing because I don't know what's going on. Because now I had to catch up. They had a repertoire of about 600 songs, you know. So I said to myself, no, man, I must learn these things off by heart. And then I did that, and that was a good thing, because then by doing that, I could naturally afterwards play by ear. Anything is relevant. So I play keyboards by ear, and I could play bass by ear. So I could switch between the two. So I had all the instruments, and I caught it to my other Merc. And Merc was packed. There was no space for a mouse. Even the windscreen in front was a little piece like that I had to drive like this to get to Bontebel. And I was dead scared because I forgot to tell you that the agreement between myself and Chino was that we were going to start something at his house. At the backyard. And when I brought the instruments there, and got it to the back, they had a little hockey there, and we decided to call it the Jazz Yard Academy because it's in the back in the yard. And first one that came, look at him with big eyes, was little Kurtley. Small.
And then he was what, 9, 7?
He was 12, but he was a
tiny
12.
I remember.
He just shot out like this. So I said to him the other day, you're not my Baba anymore.
No, for sure.
And my approach then was, I thought, how am I going to get these kids off the street? And I thought, look, Bontebel's schools, the teaching is not at a good level. So you find a lot of the kids fail, they don't go further, so maybe books is not the right thing theory is not the right thing to throw at them. So I approached them a different angle.
Get them to play first and enjoy it.
And the music appreciation to the sounds that are coming out of there. And this is, at the same time, I was applying the principles that I, in my life, had done wrong. So I was communicating with parents and telling them how good it is to stay together and also help. And a lot of times I had to counsel things I never did in my life. I was scared to stand in front of a mic and scared to talk. But I think God just drove me into that.
Absolutely.
This is what you must do. And I became like a father to them because I would always ask them about their schoolwork, and if they get stuck, and I would go to the house, and I go sit and help you with your maths, and teach you that part. Go to this house, go to that house. So it was more than just maths.
Absolutely. It was holistic.
It was holistic. And I always had in the background, what do I want this kid, if it was my kid, to learn from my life?
Wonderful.
And to be successful, to get out of the situation that Bontebel as a mindset of Bontebel, which was inherited from the apartheid system, to say that you are not worthy. So I had to, that self-worth had to be brought back.
Absolutely.
Able to create. You probably got the creation, but you don't have the self, the confidence to experiment.
Absolutely.
So I tried to give him that freedom. I said, let's just play around, man. And I wasn't scared